Everybody, welcome back to the Electricious Hub. I'm your host, Robert Jones, and you aren't seeing my face. In fact, you're seeing a very janky and messy setup that kind of hides everything and provides a clear backdrop, which hopefully by now you know what that means. Transformers review. Last month, I took a look at the Transformers Legacy United animated universe Bumblebee, and now I'm looking at that same universe, same toy line, Optimus Prime. And this is the first full-size Optimus Prime figure that I own. The animated show is one that I grew up watching. So to see this figure get remade, I immediately had to get it. They recolored it into Motormaster, and I'm gonna get that as well. It's gonna be my first repaint that I buy just for the sake of having it, because I love this mold. It is excellent, and I want everything that comes out for animated within the time frame that I actually am collecting Transformers. So there isn't a whole lot to him because it's based off of a fairly basic design. And I'm adjusting my camera as I go here. But yeah, he's a fairly basic design. He's a fire truck. In the show, he had a trailer sometimes, just like in any other cartoon. But he really, plastic cannot show how, animated the figure was, or the character was. Because in the cartoon, they kind of stretched and twisted and turned a little bit, even in vehicle mode. But doing some vehicle mode comparisons, just to kind of give you an idea, here's the Core Class Kingdom Optimus Prime that I had. This one's a Voyager class size. He's actually pretty big and very well built. And then we've got the animated Bumblebee that I reviewed last month. And that's actually pretty in line with the show scale. I was very happy with that. And then just to kind of cap it off with a fairly standard one, we've got the Sparkless Bot again. And while the Sparkless Bot is almost as long as he is, obviously Optimus has a lot more top mass because he's a truck. And he does a fairly good job of converting it all down. He holds together very well. But I guess accessory-wise, he comes with his Energon axe that he had in the cartoon, and it is very well detailed. It is just like I remember from the cartoon. It's even got the rocket booster that he uses with blast effect compatibility, so you can throw a blast effect in there. It's this very nice clear blue plastic to kind of represent the Energon of it, and you can kind of see how it's lined in there, kind of holding these plastic silver pieces in place. And it just looks beautiful. And then in the show, it could extend, and so can the toy. You just have to extend this little piece down here, and it's really long. He used it to pole vault a couple times, and for several other uses. We're just gonna set that to the side for now, because we're gonna get straight into transforming him. While I'm taking a look at it, actually, the only issues I really have with this figure is, one, this little gap in the grill right here is kind of just annoying. It's a very minor issue, same with the other one, which is the fact that you can see his, crotch area right through there, and, the feet and all that. But that's an issue that so many Optimus Primes have had, and it's a very big issue, or it's a very difficult issue to fix. But, it rolls very well. All the wheels are individually pinned on. And it just looks the part. Now we'll get into transforming him. We're going to take off the light bar here. Unclip the feet. And it's been a minute since I've actually transformed him, so you can take this part off. It just should untab. That allows this to kind of pull back up, and I'm going to adjust the camera before getting any further. That way you guys can better see what is going on and how to get him transformed. Although I will say my camera is not great to begin with. I'm going to try and focus it. Is that the button? That is not the button. Whoops. You guys get to see me struggle a little bit. There we go. That's the best it'll get. So yeah, you'll pull this part, untab this part, and then you are going to take this whole leg assembly and kind of just pull it down, and that'll give you enough room for us to take care of the upper body first. And you can kind of see his head popping through there. You can actually, I think what we'll want to do is move these out the way first as well. And this one likes to get stuck on my copy. And then let's bring this down, and that's his chest piece. And then can take right here, untab, bring that, twist it around until you see like the Autobot symbol there, and then you can bring that down and kind of fold these wheel parts inwards. And then we're going to do the same on this side, except I don't believe there is an Autobot symbol that is revealed. Oh, come on. He's kind of stuck. There we go. Nope, there is no Autobot symbol there. But you bring it all down, and it makes it pretty even with the chest and the head. And then you just want to kind of line a bunch of stuff up, and then tab the chest piece in so it kind of holds this whole assembly together. And then next we're going to take this assembly here. There's a joint right here that you will twist out, and you want to, oh, and that unpopped the whole assembly. That's fine. Twist that all the way around. I forgot about that part because that is actually essential. Again, it's been like a month since I messed with this guy. He's kind of just been waiting for his time. And I put together like the jankiest setup I have ever had, I think, for this video. There we go. There's that. Tab that back in. Okay, so that looks way better. And then you can take this part here and push it down. And that's it for a backpack, which is really impressive on a figure like this. All right, so now we're going to finish the legs. It's pretty simple. You're going to bring this down. It should tab in right there. And then take this part and kind of just curl it inwards to form the rest of the calf. And then take this and use its double joints to kind of worm it in. And then we'll repeat on this side. So tab this in right there. Fold this up. Oh, and that likes to kind of come untabbed. Clip that together. Fold that in. And then, last but not least, we have the hands, which there's these parts here, and they will just fold out. And then you shove the assembly back together, and it's the same on this side. Pull his hands out, and they're on ball joints, which I really, really like. That does not like to go back together. But yeah, and so here he is, fully transformed. You gotta kind of just tighten a few things up, because otherwise he will come unclipped. There we go. And yeah, he looks very similar to how he did in the show. He is a lot bulkier, and I think that's because they were accounting for the fact they were going to reuse this mold for Motormaster, who is obviously a much bulkier character. But other than that, it looks perfectly accurate to the show. You can actually take the light bar, and you don't even have to take it off for the transformation. I just like to, because it very much can like be a hindrance sometimes, just a bit of an annoyance. And then we can give him his axe. And when it comes to articulation, he's very well articulated. His head is on a ball joint, so he can kind of look in any direction. You can swivel that around. And then and then he actually has a bit of a rocking joint, so you can go back and forth a little bit. You can look him around a lot. His arms, because of the way they transform, go out about that far. And then full rotation at the shoulder. You've got bicep swivel. Because of how he transforms, he can go full, like all the way with his elbow joint. And then, like I said earlier, his hands are on ball joints, but because of how they're fitted in there, they don't move around too much, but they do have the full rotation because of it, which is really nice. And because of how and actually, no, this isn't even a transformation joint. This is just included. He has bicep swivel. He doesn't have any ab crunch, which is fine. Because that whole assembly right there is kind of held together for the transformation. And then his knees go all the way. And then because of how he transforms, you can move the feet really around however, but they do also have ankle pivot. And we are way out of focus again. Come on. Okay. And yeah, he is a lot bigger than the others. I will be right back with some comparisons. For you, it'll be just a second. For me, it'll be agony of transforming these characters back as fast as I can to get this done. Alright, so now we're back with some robot mode comparisons, and I'm going to try and focus this thing again. I need to get a new one so bad, but this one was cheap, and it's done its job. But yeah, we've got the new one with the Siege core class, and the Siege core class is actually a bit bigger for a core class, I think, but he's still like really good size. And again, you can really see the bulk. Like, look at how big the shoulders are from this angle, and like how wide the chest is. That's not something that animated Optimus really had that much of, but it does actually make him resemble more of an Optimus Prime in general. And I know they were going for it not for the Optimus, but because of Motormaster. But that was still really cool that they have that there. And then moving up a size, we've got animated Bumblebee. And animated Bumblebee was really tiny in comparison to the others. So him measuring up to about the same half size that the core class Prime, and actually putting him right here, he is like the same height that Bumblebee is. But it's very show accurate. And while Bumblebee here is amazingly show accurate, he still has some issues because it's like his legs are super chunky, his arms are fairly chunky, and not to the same degree that the B-127 was, who had like the Revenge of the Fallen Megatron syndrome. He's still fairly like weirdly proportioned just because of how he transforms. But this guy, he tucks everything away so well, everything just kind of folds into place, and there is no real kibble. Again, that backpack is non-existent. It's just not there. It is an excellent figure, and I've heard a lot of people had issues with it, mainly at the knees. Mine doesn't have those issues, but it sounds like they get really loose, so he has an issue or a hard time really standing up, and makes it hard to pose. And I don't think I'm going to do any posing with him, because I found out through the Bumblebee one, I kind of suck at posing. I have seen people do some poses for this figure, and holy crap, it poses beautifully. Like, it is one of the most dynamic figures I think I have ever seen, and definitely the most dynamic figure I own. And kind of going into the last comparison that we're going to do, bring back the Sparkless Bot, who is a bit bigger, pretty average deluxe class size, even for a modern deluxe. And he stacks up fairly well, and Optimus is still bigger, which, again, not the most show accurate thing, because this is, in the animated cartoon, Optimus Prime here, yes, he's Optimus Prime, but he is not, leader of the Autobots Optimus Prime. He is captain of a space bridge repair crew who only has the Prime title because he was a prodigy at the Autobot Academy or whatever. but he flunked out because he accidentally got one of his classmates not killed. She didn't die, but they thought she did. So basically, for getting a classmate killed on accident. And so he was kind of just kicked out, but they were like, well, we can't let all this potential go to waste. So it isn't until like the end of the show where he really bulks up and becomes a prime. For the most part, he's kind of skinny, he's a bit on the smaller side, and this figure doesn't capture that perfectly, but it still does an amazing job because it's not like a leader class. We can have like a leader class prime that's the whole head and shoulders above him, or like the commander class one. I don't have that obviously, but I'm betting it's like up to here above this guy. And I will get that one in reviewed eventually, but that won't be for a while. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This one's probably going to be a lot more low effort than the Bumblebee one was, just because I am running on a tight schedule today. And I am recording this on the day that it goes up. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share, and I'll catch you in the next one.